One last position that definitely was intriguing because of the injury to Aleem McNeil is defensive tackle. I do think there's a wealth of talent there as well. I think that, most people will say, okay, defensive lineman, but, there's the edge rusher position. Those are going to be the tasks with getting to the quarterback. But also for the Lions, the key that is most important is winning with a front four and being able to be a run stuffer. And I do think that there's going to be a question mark. I don't think you're going to keep both Pascal and Levi Onwuzurike. I think you pick one. You still have Broderick Martin and Makai Wingo still intriguing. You still have some veterans as well working their way back from injury. Who stood out in terms of the interior of the defensive line, defensive tackles that could be there maybe even in later rounds? I thought, overall, the defensive line, definitely those that worked out, definitely showcased a lot of skills. And I think that even if the Lions don't take one, a defensive lineman at number 28, I do think that there is an opportunity at 60 to still get a very good player. But it's pretty clear though. It's not going to be a situation in which Mason Graham's not going to be there for the Lions. It's going to be tough with Grant. I just think that some of these good players are going to be taken early in the draft. So we'll talk about the high end players and then also maybe some realistic players that will be there as well. Who stood out from the defensive tackle group?
Yeah, I think when you talk about the top end guys like Darius Alexander, Derek Harmon, obviously a couple of the big name guys like Graham and Grant did not work out. But I thought that, Derek Harmon was at it as advertised. Darius Alexander ran sub five in the 40. He's another, probably top 50 ish, top 60 guys, could fall to Detroit in the second round. But those two guys really stood out. And then if you go a little further down the board, there's a couple names that really caught my eye. CJ West, big guy, but just moves so well. He was sub five in the 40, showed a lot of good traits throughout the day. CJ West from Indiana. Indiana, obviously, really good year. He had a 33-inch vertical jump as well, so something to keep an eye on as far as explosiveness. But I thought one guy who really impressed me is Ty Robinson from Nebraska. And the issue with Ty Robinson, he weighed in at 288, which is a little bit light for the defensive tackle position, but he's 6'5", very physical when you watch him on tape, heavy hands. He did all the drills, 4.83 in the 40, 33.5-inch vertical, which is so. 9'11" in the broad jump, and then 7.58 in the three-cone drill as well. So a lot of athleticism there to work with. Tough kid, super fast. And I think that if you can look past the concerns about the weight and just view him based on his intangibles and his overall technique, I think that somebody's going to get a really good player in Ty Robinson. So again, another deep class as far as like down the board where there's going to be good players just about everywhere you look. And then also, before we move on, I cannot forget about JJ Pegues. Talk about a
Mhm.
guy that was doing fullback drills after he got done with his defensive line workout. And honestly, after seeing the videos, it might work. It might work. You talked about guys that defensive line who have transitioned to fullback. I think JJ Pegues is somebody who, at least in like a rotational package, could do some work on the offensive end. He's just a pure athlete. I really liked what I saw from him yesterday as well. So, like I said, all down the board, you're going to find good players, good talents who have like specific traits that make them really, really good. And then it's just about developing their overall game. So, a lot to like about this interior defensive line class.